guys, welcome back to my channel. I am gonna be tackling something that has been on my heart literally nonstop for so long. Like, if you talk to some of my best gals, this is something that has constantly come up in our conversations for probably, I would say, 2 to 3 years. So long overdue, but at the same time, I just feel very convicted and very, I just know that it's time to talk about it and time to do something about it. So I'm going to be talking about something called digital detox. And it's funny because I feel like whenever you think of digital detox, and even whenever you look up the definition of what a digital detox is, there is all of these either preconceived notions or just there is a thought of what that means, especially because we live in the digital age. Obviously, we are surrounded by digital things. And to give you guys a little bit of a background, I get very easily overwhelmed by sounds, things that I see, so visuals, and even touch. So especially after becoming a mom, I carried my baby for 8 months, and then after that I breastfed Ellis for a year. And it sounds funny, but we also got a dog within that time, and he's super needy as well, so he's always trying to cuddle me. I love my husband. His love language, one of them is physical touch as well. And so I have realized I also get very overwhelmed by being touched out. But how does that relate to digital detoxing? It actually does, funnily enough. So all that to say, I am very easily overwhelmed by, I guess, things that just impact my senses. I don't know how to say it any other way. I've tried looking it up, tried seeing if anybody else could relate on, this topic in the virtual space. There's a lot of people, whenever I talk to them one-on-one, they're like, oh my gosh, yes, I have struggled with that. Or yes, you're putting words to what I have felt in my heart. So all of that to say, that's kind of my past and why it's something that's constantly on my heart, but also something that I do want to share about, because I do feel like, one, there is a need for it to be shared about, and for somebody to, I guess, authentically share their journey through it. And then also, I think it would just be really good to just hear what I'm thinking as far as the digital detox goes, than just seeing what you've seen on, I don't know, Safari or the internet or whatever you want to call it. Because that's where I got most of my resources, but I'm kind of pairing it with my experience and my thoughts, if that makes sense. So I am going to start with the definition of a digital detox, and this was just found on Google. So the definition is taking a break from using electronic devices or certain medias. Okay, so that's in short what it is. What most people think of whenever they are thinking of doing a digital detox, a lot of people think of social media. So I think most people are like, okay, I'm overwhelmed by the digital world. This thing is in our phone, in our hand constantly. What are we doing on it? What are we consuming? What is causing our attention to go towards it? And I would say 99% of the time, you're not spending all of your time texting or, checking your emails. Maybe that is a big part of it, but I would say a lot of our consumption probably comes from social media. So I would say that whenever somebody thinks of a digital detox, they're probably going to hand in hand put that in alignment with taking some time away from social media. So whether that be Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, there's all kinds of social medias, and I would say that people would probably hear digital detox, let's get rid of social media for a little bit, which I do think is a part of a digital detox, but I don't think it is the only thing, and I think that there is so much more to digital detoxing. I don't know. I kind of gave you guys some background on the why behind, I guess, this journey of digital detoxing, and that would be mainly because I am just extremely overwhelmed by sounds, visuals, and even movements. Like I said, I feel like this has been something on my heart for a very long time, and anytime I talk about it with somebody else, it seems like they can relate to it. But it is a big topic to cover, and it's also a big topic to cover whenever you're walking through it as well. So I feel very vulnerable, but I also feel very ready. There's a verse that I deeply relate on, and I just wanted to share it. I feel like I don't know. It's weird because it's kind of like negative, but at the same time, like it speaks to my spirit and helps me know I'm not alone in this. So it says, Romans 7:15, it says, I do not understand what I do, for what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate to do, I do. So when I read this verse, it reminds me of all the times where I've wanted to take a step into digital detoxing, or taking time away from social media, or taking, even if it's waking up early and starting new morning routines, or putting my phone away before I go to bed. I know that those are what I want to do, and I don't do it. But what I don't want to do, and I hate doing, laying in this bed and just scrolling on social media before going to bed, or waking up and the first thing I do is grabbing my phone to check the text. Like, I hate that. I don't want to be a slave to my phone. I don't want you to be a slave to your phone. I don't want us to be a slave to anything other than, I don't want us to be a slave to anything. I just want us to be fully loving life and embracing the slowness and the peace that comes whenever we learn to live quiet. As you can see, I'm a little passionate about this. I gave you guys the definition of what a digital detox is, and I gave you what people probably think of when they think of a digital detox, which is social media, taking time away from those things. Yes, but for me, it looks a little bit different. My definition for digital detox would probably be something more like this: removing unnecessary consumption / distractions from my day-to-day life. So, of course, social media is a huge distraction and a huge thing that I just consume just because it's there. But there's also a lot of other things that are in my life day to day that somebody has programmed to alert me that something is done so that we can get on to the next task. So we find ourselves always living rushed without even realizing why. And it's taken me a long time to kind of find what are those trigger points, but I have found a lot of them, and I'm gonna share them with you guys in hopes that maybe you can hear this and think, oh my gosh, yes, like me too. Or you can also think I'm crazy, and that's okay too. Because I know I'm crazy, and I know this is a lot, but it's also something, like the Bible verse said, like, it is something I want to do, and this time I'm going to do it. So all that to say, that's my definition. You've heard my why behind it. You've heard what the world would say is a digital detox, and now you kind of know what my definition of the digital detox is. Before I actually go into what I am going to be doing for my digital detox, I wanted to read one more verse. So let me pull that up. Matthew 11:28 says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." When I read that verse, I am immediately filled with breath. I don't know. I read it and I want that. I feel burdened. I feel weary, and I want to come to him, and I want to learn from him. I want to learn how to do life with him. I think in another version, I had my Bible out here, but it's the Passion Translation. It might take me a second to find it. This one says, "Simply join your life with mine. Learn my ways, and you'll discover that I am gentle, humble, and easy to please. You will find refreshment and rest in me." When I read that, I'm just like, holy cow, why do I spend so much time consuming other things than the most important thing, or just having things playing just to be playing for no reason? Like, why don't I just come to him? And I don't want you to hear that and be like, feel condemned or feel ashamed. That's not my goal at all. It's more so when I read that, I want you to hear it as well and be like, I want that. And instead of doing what the first verse says, and that was, I do what I don't want to do, and what I don't want to do, I do. Oh my gosh. I have a brain of a toddler, but I also have one, so that's okay. What was I even saying? I want you to read that, and I want you to long and hunger for that refreshment. That's what I'm doing. And so whenever I read that verse, I already feel refreshed after knowing what I'm going to be doing for my digital detox, in hopes that I will live and feel and breathe and walk and do life differently after. Obviously, a detox is for a moment, for a season, or for a period of time. For me, I'm gonna do a week, see how it goes, and then from there, I can, see if parts of it worked long-term or will work long-term, then I can do that. But I don't want to have a ton of pressure on myself to, do this for a year. Like, I just kind of want to do these things for a week and see if any of it makes a difference, see if any of it is worth sticking around. Now I'm going to be sharing what I will actually be doing for the digital detox. And I've kind of set this into like 3 different categories. One would be my phone. The next one would be just day-to-day life and things that I'm going to change up in there. And then the last thing is just it's kind of still day-to-day life, but more like personally in this week, what I'm going to be doing. And then at the end, I'll kind of talk about what my hope is on the other side of this. So I have my journal here full of notes. So I'm just gonna go down the list and read what I will be detoxing from, what my plans are for this week. I will be keeping my phone on digital detox mode for a week. So I went on my phone and I basically found whenever you slide down, you know how there's like the focus button? You can actually create your own focus. And so I created a focus that says digital detox, and this will actually kind of keep my phone on do not disturb mode. If at any point in time, if there was emergency, somebody can reach me. But I'm eliminating things like spam calls. I literally get at least 7 to 10 spam calls a day. Ask Jacoby, it's real. It's so annoying. It starts at 6 a.m. and it literally doesn't stop till 10:30 p.m. So I'm so excited about this feature that I found, because I do feel like that in and of itself is gonna eliminate a huge chunk of noise. Another thing that I will be removing from my phone is vibration, which is so weird, but it kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier and being touched out. There's already so many things that are calling for my attention. There's no reason that my phone needs to not only ring, but also vibrate. There's not a reason as to why I need both. Another thing that I will be doing, which is a little bit difficult for me, my job is social media, so I cannot delete all of social media off my phone because I have to go in daily and post for my clients. But one thing that I can do, one second, my mailman's here. I feel awkward. Okay, so like I said, I work from my phone through social media. So like getting all the apps off my phone, that's not an option. Like completely removing the temptation, that's not an option. So what I will be doing is logging out of my Instagram, which there will still be a big temptation for me to just log right back in. But I'm hoping that by moving the app to a new place that I don't normally have it, and that will help. And then also I'm just gonna have to rely on self-control and Jesus, because I want this so badly. So that is what it is, and that's my only option. So I'm only gonna be on Instagram if I need to post something for work. I'm not gonna be on it for personal reasons. So that's my goal there. Another big thing is I'm slowly going to be cleaning up my notifications. So not only is it like the notifications that come throughout the day, but it's also just the red number that keeps on growing over time if you don't check it. So I'm going to be taking some time every day, instead of scrolling on social media, I'm gonna do the dang thing, go through my email, clear it out, or log out of the ones that I don't need on my phone, clear up the apps. Like if I don't use the app, it's leaving, it's gone. I'm trying to think of other things. obviously like going through my texts and clearing that out. Another thing that I would love to do is going through my phone, like my contact list, and deleting people that I haven't talked to and probably won't talk to for the rest of my life, their phones. Like I have so many middle school friends, moms in my phone that just says like so-and-so's mom, you know. I don't think I'll need those anymore. So I'm gonna delete things that are unnecessary in my phone. And then another step beneath that will be detoxing my phone in and of itself is I'm gonna be going through my photos. Every time I have to post, the photo goes into my photo albums, and I always forget to delete them, so I have like at the end of the week like 60 posts on my phone that are just in my photos for no reason. It's just ridiculous. So I'm gonna go through that and make sure that the photos on my phone are photos that I love and want to see. Oh, another thing is that I will be taking Slack off of my phone. I will have all communication through my laptop, and that will eliminate like a big line of communication that really should just be through my laptop. So that's one. And then the last thing on my phone is I'm going to keep my background super simple. I used to have a photo of me and Jacoby, and then a photo of me and Ellis and Jacoby, but I just want it to be something super clean, something that like isn't gonna overwhelm me. Not that my family overwhelms me, but just like I said, I'm super overwhelmed by visuals, so if I see something super clean, I am more likely to just not get overwhelmed. So that is what I'm going to do for my phone. And now I'm going to talk about the things that I will be implementing for our day-to-day life. The first thing is I'm going to be setting the alarm on the Alexa. I don't know if she heard me, but I'm going to be doing that. And one thing that has really, really overwhelmed me in the past couple months is like the fact that me and Jacoby have 2 separate alarms, and we both are those people that snooze, snooze, snooze. And so by the time we wake up, between the both of us, we've heard at least 5 alarm sounds, and it's terrible. So I have decided, at first I was like, you know what, let's just have 1 alarm sound between the both of us, and it's gonna be 1 phone and it'll go off. Even that, I just want to use that thing, keep our phones outside of our room at night. That's another thing, is that we will be keeping our phones outside of our room. I think we're gonna keep one of our phones in our closet, which is kind of weird, but keep it in there just in case we need it, in case of emergency and it's close. Another thing is I am going to intentionally start off the day with worship music. So worship music is something that just helps my soul come into alignment with what I want. It's helping all of us declare goodness over our day. And one thing that it's funny because you hear about like screen time with your kids and like how it affects them, but I have also found myself very affected by screen time with Ellis's shows. We're only going to let Ellis watch TV from our phone if we are out and about and he is needing something to distract him, because he is just, you know how toddlers get. That is the only time we're going to be letting him use TV time, or unless I am feeling sick or Jacoby is feeling sick. Obviously, hopefully that doesn't happen, but sometimes, like, you know, moms or dads, like, you just need a second. And basically with this, we just don't want it to be something that's playing just to be playing, because I have found like we'll turn it on in the mornings because that's one of the only times he'll cuddle me. He's just such a busy boy, and so sometimes I'll be like, do you want to watch Cocomelon? Because I know he'll cuddle me. But then I'll realize like it's been 4 hours later and like we're not even watching TV, but we have stupid Wheels on the Bus going on for the 5th hour in the row, whenever we're literally not even near the TV, nobody's watching it, nobody's listening to it. Well, we're all listening to it, and it's just overwhelming me. So, all that to say, that's what we're doing with TV. Another thing is I'm going to be going through Ellis's toys and removing any toys that create artificial sound for just this week, just to see how it goes. He actually doesn't have many toys that have like sounds, but he does have a few. And I just want to see if that helps him. I want to see if it helps him, and I also want to see if it helps us. So we'll remove those for a week to see if he misses them, if he lives fine without them. It's not, I do want to clarify something. it's not Ellis or Jacoby or myself making sound that overwhelms me, it's the artificial sound. So if Ellis were to be playing with his drums or his cymbals, that's not overwhelming me. I love that. I want him to do that. What overwhelms me is like Paw Patrols, like that was real life, but the songs that go over and over and over that don't stop until you take it away. So that's another thing. And then this is a funny one, but I am really interested to see how this helps. I will be turning off, the little sound that like plays, it's not a sound, the song that plays once your washer and dryer are done. We're gonna turn those off. And I'm interested to know like what that will do, but that is another artificial sound that constantly goes off throughout our house. We're always doing something, some load of laundry, and so there's always the little jingle that's going on. And I feel like that's just another way that the world has added sound in our life to tell us, okay, this is done, next step, hurry, rush to the next thing, get that laundry out, put it in the next thing, like keep the conveyor line going, like, I don't know. So I just feel like that might help us calm, not rush to the next thing. We know it'll be done, we'll get it done, and so yes. Okay, and now these are the things that I will personally be doing. This doesn't mean Jacoby's doing it or Ellis is doing it. The other two are kind of like, they're around, so it is what it is for them for this. But these are ones that I personally need to put into action. One thing about digital detoxing is, like I said, from my definition, is the unnecessary consumption. I've talked about this in a lot of my videos actually, and I feel like YouTube specifically became a place and a space and a community of people who really spoke into my life, especially whenever I was lonely and a new mama. So I feel like for now a year and a half, or a little bit longer now that Ellis is even older than a year and a half, I have been filling my mind with consuming these YouTube videos that at once were fine and they didn't affect me. It was nice to know that there was another mom learning how to breastfeed, or nice to know that another mom was learning how to go out and about on her own with multiples, like whatever it was. I used to love it and I still do love it, but I'm in a season and a place where I know that I should not be doing that right now. I feel inspired and encouraged to share, but I don't necessarily feel like I need to be consuming at this season of my life. So with that said, I will be personally taking a break from consuming more digital forms of media. So obviously I talked about social media already, but another thing is I will not be watching any YouTube videos this week unless it's one of my friends who posts something, or unless it's worship music. Another thing that I have found is whenever I am like cleaning or sitting, whatever it may be, driving, I am constantly usually listening to something. And I think it comes from a good place. Like I want to learn and I want to grow, but I have found myself just consuming and not doing anything with the consumption. So in this week of me digital detoxing, I am going to allow myself to listen to one podcast. It's one that I love and will continue to listen to, but and it's one that actually like fills my soul, edifies me, makes me laugh, makes me cry, all the things. I am going to listen to that one podcast and that's it. And then I am going to allow myself for my one guilty pleasure this week, and that would be The Bachelor. I know, it's funny, but I'm not trying to I'm not trying to have like a no fun zone in our house. So I want to allow like the guilty pleasures and the things that I love, but I want to learn how to control those things and to only allow like bits and pieces of consuming. So yes, those are the 3 things that I will be putting into action. So no YouTube unless it's worship, no podcasts except for one, and then my one guilty pleasure of a TV show this week. So those are all the things that I will be doing detoxing from, and I am so excited. in one breath, I'm so nervous because I have known that I wanted to do this for so long, and I've talked about it to so many people, and I feel just kind of like it's one of those things that I always talk about but never do. So I'm really, really excited to actually do it this time and to bring you guys along the journey of how it goes and all of that. But like I said, I am a little bit nervous because I know, like I said, I am straight up addicted to this thing. And like, if you're not, I don't know how. And so I want to learn to be more like you if you're not addicted to this thing. And I want to live a more free, slow, quiet, easy, restful, peaceful, life-giving life. So all of that to say, those are what I'm going to be detoxing from. I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot of moving parts as well, but I am so confident that this is what I need. And it's just a week. I can do anything for a week. You can do anything for a week. So if you want to join me, please do. If you are interested in anything else whenever it comes to the digital detox, please reach out and ask me. Obviously I won't be on social media, so you can ask me for my number if you don't have it, or just text me if you do. That is what I will be doing. That is my digital detox first video. Maybe there will be many more to come. Maybe this is just a week, and I don't know. It's something I'm passionate about. It's something I've been passionate about for a very long time, and it's something I'm excited to share with you guys. So like I said, if you have any questions or if you're encouraged or inspired to do this along with me, please, 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 please let me know so I can be praying for your journey as well throughout this. And yeah, I'm very grateful that you chose to watch this, and I'm super nervous for this next week, but also super, super excited, and we will see how it goes. I'm gonna be real with y'all. There's probably gonna be times where I slip up or do something wrong. That's humanity. I am human, but I'm gonna do my absolute best. So, feels good to have this video made. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you soon.